My dear friends, we are gathered here today to, unfortunately, say goodbye to Katie-Hélène, whose short life has come to an end. This is a very, very sad moment, very tragic moment. Words are just not sufficient. Words are very inadequate. Today, unfortunately, we're all in a state of shock. She was only 35 years old, if I understand, and full of life. A sudden departure seems so unfair, so abnormal, and so cruel. Unfortunately, my dear friends, death is a great mystery. When we talk about death, we have more questions than we have answers. We all know that life is precious, but also that life is fragile. Every day, the media, newspapers, TV kind of reminds us of this reality. But it's always all about others, and we don't think that such an event can happen in our own surroundings, in our own backyard. Today, unfortunately, such a situation strikes us without any warning. The shock is intense and brutal because you did not have time to prepare for that. If I understand correctly, it was very sudden. In psychology, we make a difference between what we call an anticipated grief and a post-mortem grief. An anticipated grief is where somebody's been sick for a while, maybe a few months, a year. You kind of prepare yourself because you know the end is near, even though we're never ready for that. In your case, that was not the case. You will now have to go what we call a post-mortem grief. This death, unfortunately, comes as a very bad shock. What you're going through right now is extremely difficult. And my role as well is difficult because I share your pain, I share your suffering. I would say, especially Roman, Astrid, and the family, do not carry this burden alone. Ask for help if you feel you need help, and sometimes maybe professional help. In such a situation, we would be inclined to weep, to cry, to be angry, to be devastated, and I would say that those reactions are normal and necessary. It is necessary to cry. But remember that your tears will always be an expression of your love and affection for Katie who has left us. And this loss is even greater because, like I said before, she was only 35 years old. She was a young woman, full of life, and now all the dreams, hopes, and plans have suddenly gone and disappeared, and as well for you, all your plans and hopes have gone away. What is the meaning of such an event? Why Katie? Unfortunately, this question will always remain unanswered. However, one answer that could be given here today is that Katie's short life of 35 years was not in vain. During a short life, she was able to spread a lot of joy and happiness around her, and she touched a lot of people. And your presence here today speaks volume to Roman, to Astrid, and to the family. Katie was a loving, caring, smart person with a heart of gold, always ready to help others. She was Roman's loving wife and the church mother of Astrid. She was always a very kind and friendly person. If I can quote here today, Angela, which I read, in the internet, a good friend of Katie, she said this, quotation, "It was a blessing to have her in our world. She was a bright light in a dark world. And even if her life was short, it is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. End of quotation. My dear friends, life should never be a simple routine, a matter of habit. I know sometimes we just take it for granted. I know we're all very, very busy. We all have very busy agendas. But always take time, quality time, for the people we love. Do not wait for tomorrow to say I love you. Tomorrow may be too late. We all have 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes per hour, and 60 seconds per minute. Once it is gone, that time disappears and will never come back again. I can't say, well, yesterday I didn't use a couple of hours. I'd like to get them back. Fortunately, it doesn't work like that. I know we're very busy, but always take the extra mile. Cherish the people around you. Hug them. Say, I love you. Don't wait for tomorrow to say, I love you. And I'm sure that all of you today, you have very many beautiful memories of Katie. Those memories engraved in your heart, where nobody can go except you. Well, death cannot erase those memories. Death does not have the last word. Love will always be stronger than death. So to add a more personal touch to the celebration of her life here today, I'm going to be calling on a few people. Actually, I'm going to be asking Roman to come up, and he will start by paying tribute to his lovely wife, and then he will introduce other people who will come up here and share with us some fun memories of Katie. Roman, I'd like you to come up, please. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, today we gather here to remember and celebrate the life of a remarkable woman who left an indelible mark on all of us. Katie-Hélène Denise Heikkila, or just Katie. Katie's journey began with a humble start to life, born in Ottawa, Ontario, and spent her childhood in Kempville. At the time, it was a small farming community. You could say Katie had a rocky start to life in a place that shaped her into the extraordinary individual we knew and loved. Her story is filled with resilience, passion, and a deep commitment to those around her. These memories should forever inspire us. In her early years, Katie was nurtured by the embrace of nature, growing up amidst a large farm, a large garden, chickens, turkeys, and several border collie dogs. She learned the significance of life's simple pleasures, the abundance of that garden, the preserved jars of its harvest, the access of fresh cut Christmas trees symbolizing the type of luxuries she experienced in Kempville. From the very beginning, Katie exhibited a fearless spirit. Katie's curiosity knew no bounds, exploring the multi-acre property and forest. By the age of 15, she had traversed every province and territory in Canada, a feat that fueled her dreams of worldwide exploration. Conversations with her would often turn to distant lands and the shared excitements of experiences traveling the world together. Her love for history and geography was unparalleled. A true historian fueled by passion, she had a wealth of knowledge about the past and a deep understanding of the world's geography. Her love for these subjects was surpassed only by her love for music, photography, makeup, and all things artistic. The day I met Katie is etched in memory, a moment where time seemed to pause. From that instant, a connection was formed that transcended the ordinary. Bless you. The presence became an integral part of life, and our shared journey began with a simple phrase that united us. Hi, my name's Roman. You know you can't spell romance without Roman. Our time together was marked with endless conversations, exploring each other's interests, navigating life's ups and downs. Our complementary flaws made us the perfect match, and the power of our love grew stronger as the years passed. Katie's zodiac sign, the dragon, spoke to her rarity and beauty. Paired with my own sign, the snake, we became a power couple that faced all of life's challenges head on. Katie posed an incredible ability to offer guidance and support. She saw not only you, who you were, but also the best version of yourself. Her unwavering belief in the potential of those she loved was a testament to her genuine character. In the 15 years, 4 months, and 3 days together, Katie became an inseparable part of my life. As silly as it might sound, I remember from a young age wishing upon a star for a friendship as bizarre and fierce to match my own. That wish became reality. Katie shared her passions with me and embraced mine, creating a life intertwined with art, music, and endless love and acceptance. Katie's ability to live in the moment was a lesson in itself. A true leader, she led by example, understanding that helping hands could change the course of someone's life. Katie never shied away from a challenge and always surpassed any goal. She had a knack for turning any situation into a shining moment, uncovering the best in people and things. Katie's love for all things creative was surpassed only by her love for humanity and her passions for women's rights. Katie's departure leaves a void that words can hardly express. But let us remember the Latin words that best describe Katie. Veni, vidi, vici. She came, she saw, she conquered. When times get tough, let's remember to stand strong, chin up, and move forward. In this moment of loss, let us find solace in the joy that she brought into our lives, the memories we shared, and the love that will forever remain in our hearts. As we say goodbye, let's embrace her legacy by living boldly, loving fiercely, and cherishing every moment. Rest in peace, dear Katie. As you embark on a new journey, your spirit lives on in all of us, and your light will continue to shine brightly, guiding us forever. Chin up, tits out, onward. Stephanie, could you please come and say your words?
I'd like to thank everybody gathered here today to honor and remember the remarkable life of my dear sweet sister Katie, who embodied the essence of kindness, generosity, strength, and love. We gather here to celebrate the life of a best friend, mother, and confidant, a woman whose presence illustrated every life she touched, or illuminated every life she touched. As we reflect upon Katie's life, it becomes clear that she was a shining example of what it means to truly care for others. Her kindness knew no bounds, and her heart had an infinite capacity of love. She had an uncanny ability to brighten even the darkest days with her infectious smile and warm, genuine demeanor. Whether it was a simple act of listening, a thoughtful gesture, a heartfelt word, or telling you to burn it down because you're too good for them anyway, she had an innate way of making everyone around her feel seen, heard, and loved. Generosity flowed through her veins like a gentle stream, nourishing the lives of those fortunate enough to know her. She gave not just with material possessions, but with her time, her wisdom, and her unwavering support. Her willingness to go above and beyond for others was a testament to the beautiful soul and selfless nature. In a world often driven by self-interest, she stood as a beacon of benevolence, reminding us all of the power of giving without expecting anything in return. Her thoughtfulness extended beyond mere gestures. It was woven into the fabric of her being. She had an innate ability to anticipate the needs of others and provide comfort and solace when it was needed most. Her empathy knew no bounds, and her words of encouragement were like a soothing balm for wounded hearts. She taught us that friendship is nurtured through genuine concern, unwavering loyalty, and willingness to stand by each other's side through thick and thin. Loving, tough, and fierce. These words only begin to scratch the surface of the multifaceted personality. As a wife, she was a steadfast partner, a source of unwavering support, and a safe haven for her spouse. As a mother, she poured her heart and soul into nurturing her child, instilling in them the values of compassion, resilience, and integrity. Her love was fierce, protecting her and guiding her loved ones through life's challenges with unwavering determination. In reflecting on Katie's presence in our lives, you might have noticed that I referred to her as my sister, despite the fact that I'm biologically Roman's sister. This distinction was purposeful and meaningful. From the very outset, Katie seamlessly wove herself into the fabric of our family. Her integration was so natural and genuine that the boundaries of blood seemed insignificant. Katie's role in our lives was more than just a connection by marriage. It was an embodiment of the deepest kind of kinship, one that transcended biology and the defines of the true essence of family. Her presence was a gift that enriched us all, and her memory will forever remain intertwined with ours. Today, as we say our final goodbyes, let us remember her not with tears of sorrow, but with tears of gratitude for the profound impact she had on each of our lives. Let us carry forward the lessons she taught, the importance of kindness, the value of generosity, the strength of love, and the power of resilience. In doing so, we honor her legacy and keep her memory alive in our hearts. Though she may no longer be with us in the physical realm, her spirit will forever be woven into the tapestry of our lives. May her example inspire us to live with the same kindness, generosity, thoughtfulness, love, and fierceness that she so beautifully embodied. Rest in peace, sweet Katie. Your light will continue to shine brightly in the lives you've touched and the beautiful daughter you've brought to this world. And Tiffany and Mike.
When I was first asked to speak today, I initially said I didn't know if I could. What would I say? It wasn't that I didn't have anything to talk about, but rather, how do you put into words what an incredible person Katie was? The first time I met Katie, she was just sitting across from me as I interviewed her for her first job at Shoppers Drug Mart. Little did I know then that my life would forever be changed. Katie and I worked side by side for many years, building a friendship that many people dream of having. We shared many laughs, tough times, and a few very heated debates. When Katie was passionate about something, she would never back down or stay quiet, even if her opinion was not that of the majority. She always stood up for what she believed to be right and supported the less fortunate than herself. Katie was the most selfless person that I ever met. She always put the needs of others before herself, whether it be letting her team choose their vacation and taking only what was left, or working long stretches without a day off so she didn't have to refuse anyone the break they so desperately needed, to dropping everything at a moment's notice should a friend call or need a helping hand. Earlier this year, I had a big health scare, the big C word we all hope to never hear. Katie rearranged her entire schedule for me, taking her own vacation time so she could sit at each appointment with me. She never once told me, I don't know if I can make it. Instead, she always asked me, when is our next appointment? She made sure to input the date and time into her calendar. She never missed a single appointment. When word finally came that I was in the clear and all tests were negative, I showed up to work the next morning to flowers on my desk with a note that's read, same team. Her way of saying, I love you, we got this. Many of her work team are here today. She may never have told you because she held her feelings so closely to her heart, but you are her family. She cared deeply about each of you. She was invested in your lives, the success of your future, valued your opinions, and though some of you drove her crazy, she wouldn't have traded you for the world. Katie was more than my friend. She was my family, the sister that I never knew that I needed. She was one of the most important and influential people in my life, the person I ran to when I thought my world was crashing down, knowing that she would just listen, no judgment. She would give the best advice, maybe not the answers that you wanted, but the truth that you needed to hear. She had a kind heart and a beautiful soul. Though she is no longer with us, we will all forever remember her smile and the brightness she added to every room when she walked into it. Good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know that they are always there. Katie will forever be the brightest star in the sky. Until we meet again.
I only had the pleasure of working with Katie for a little over 4 years, but I can honestly say she was without a doubt the absolute best coworker and eventually the best friend you could possibly ask for. I think my wife would agree that even though we met working together, we didn't work as well as me and Katie worked. The team that me and Tiffany and Katie had, it was something special. As much as the company kind of would drive us crazy, we always had the three of us to lean on, to give ourselves support. Crammed into that little tiny office, the three of us knew we could tackle the day. We shut ourselves in there for a few minutes and psych ourselves up for what we have to do, and we would get it done. It was just such a great time, and 4 short years really felt like no time at all. It was just a great experience. Katie was always there. She always beat me to work every single day, and I knew as soon as I came in, I'm going to see a nicely colored Kate Spade purse on the desk, and in the wintertime, you're going to see a bright pink jacket or a purple jacket, any bright colored jacket. You know Katie's there, and the day's going to be able to be handled because Katie's there. We shared Saturdays. Every other Saturday, I would get there early, and Katie would follow soon after. And I would just wait for that after-hours call on line 1 to know that Katie's there. Roman's dropping her off in the blue Jeep. So I'd go to the front and let her in, and that was my first interaction where I got to meet Roman and see the great man beside Katie, where me, I was half asleep and struggling, how am I going to get through this day? I know Katie's coming, and I get to hear just a few short words from Roman, but honestly, it made my day. You psyched me up, just, good day, good sir. You're going to have a great day today, I know it. Half asleep at 7 o'clock in the morning, Roman woke me up. It meant a lot, Roman. I always remember those short times in the office with me, Katie, and Tiffany. Katie did not like to be too close. She did not want you to be too close in her personal space. She did not want to be touched. I think I got one hug on her last day before she went on mat leave, and I was super proud that I was like, I got one hug. But with Katie, you didn't need the actual physical contact because you got to talk with Katie. Katie, it always felt like a hug just being around Katie and hearing her speak, being able to speak with her. She was just an amazing person who made you feel very comfortable, and everyone comfortable, whether it's the full-time staff member who's 50 years old with 3 kids, or the 18-year-old kid who's probably had a few too many drinks the night before, and Katie could talk to all of them. Everyone felt comfortable to talk to Katie, and it was honestly just a pleasure to be around. You could always go to Katie. In our small, tight-knit store, we always had to lean on each other and do different things that maybe in a bigger store you have your own defined roles. But if ever there was a call for someone to get 2 paychecks, it was Katie. She was the cosmetic manager, but really she was not the cosmetic manager. She was a co-manager of the store. We would be filling the freezers. Katie's there. What cosmetic manager is over there filling the freezers? Who's bringing in the load, filling milk, then going off to sell some perfume to someone? She did it all. Working so close, there was definitely times, like Tiff said, where we would butt heads and there was disagreements. But Katie had this great ability to bring you together. So if it was me getting upset about all the work we had and yelling at Tiffany, I'm like, why are we doing this? How can they expect us to do this? And Tiffany saying, well, that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be, and us storming off our separate ways. Katie would come and bring you together as almost like a mediator, and this special ability to tell you, like, no, you're right. You're 100% right, but you're kind of an idiot. You're being a jerk.
Only once.
She just knew how to, she could support you, but also give you that smack at the same time that never felt like it was malicious. It was just a support. It was, like I said, that hug without hugging you. She was always close with me, but near the end when we stopped working together is when she became pregnant with Astrid. And luck so have it, a few months later, my wife became pregnant, and I was able to work with Katie and form an even closer bond with her from sharing what they're experiencing. So she helped me again there with knowing, okay, this is how my wife's feeling. This is what to expect. This is what's going on. And since then, when she went on mat leave was the end of our time working together. And I think partly why I had to move on from the job was I don't know how I could do a year without Katie there helping me. How can I work? And it just so happened that we had a coworker who always, when I was leaving and we were stopping working together, that saying, you guys should keep in contact. I know you guys are good together. You should keep in contact. And thankfully we have, and we've grown closer over the last few years. Be it just sharing a text on how the kids are doing. Here's a picture of their first day of school last September, or us getting together at Tiff's house. A couple months ago, we went to the Flying Squirrel with everyone, and just last fall, we went for my son's birthday party, and Katie and Astrid were there, and I think I spent most of my time just talking with Katie. Like, I had to be with Katie. I don't get that experience every day. I'm like, I should probably be part of the birthday, but I want to see what's up with Katie. I need that hug without being hugged from Katie. And I was very lucky to have known Katie, and although it was a short time, she left a lasting memory on me, and she'll be greatly missed. She's a very special person. Roman, you're a very special guy. It's been a pleasure to get to know everyone, and I'm just so thankful that Katie came into my life and I got to be a part of this today. I'll miss you, Katie. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for sharing with us some of those fun memories. They are very, very touching and very inspiring, and I'm sure that all of you today as well. You must have some beautiful memories of Katie. So we're going to take time to listen to a song chosen by Roman, and as we listen to the song, we will think of Katie. We will think of all those beautiful memories.
When I think of you, my heart remembers all the love we never It was some time ago. I remember yet that very first time when we first met, and I still think of you. And the promise we made that we never part, that we'll never part, never part. Just me and you, never part. Just me and you, never part. Just her and no.
So, my dear friends, I'm sure that, we all have a lot of questions, what happens after death. Over the years, I've done pastoral work in hospitals in Montreal, in palliative care. Now I do palliative care in hospitals in Ottawa, and in Gatineau at La Maison Mathieu Froment Savoie, where I accompany people who are close to death. And one of the questions the patients usually ask me before passing away, they'll say to me, we always say that after death there's something else. Do we have an idea what happens after? Obviously, I don't have the answer. But I usually use an analogy. I talk about the greatness of the universe. So, my dear friends, even though we don't understand, we can't explain, our only consolation here today is to believe that after death there's something else. That Katie is now starting this journey into a world which is just beyond our imagination. She was your angel in this world. She will now be your angel in heaven. That's what our hope here today. Even though we don't understand, even though we can't explain, we can hope for that. And I think if we could hear her today, she would say something like this to you. If tomorrow should start without me, and I'm not here to see the sun rise before me, please do not cry as we say goodbye. I know how much you love me, and I know how much you miss me. Please understand that an angel came and called my name, and that my place was ready in heaven above, and that I had to leave those that I love. Today my life on earth is past, but my new life will always last. Today, I am now free to enjoy a new place in heaven. The angel said to me, this is now eternity where life has no end. This is a place where there is no sorrow, no weeping, no pain, but the fullness of peace and joy. If tomorrow should start without me, please do not let your hearts be filled with sorrow, because now I have a new tomorrow. And remember that those who have gone away have only gone into a brighter day. For this is a journey we must all take one day, alone, a step on the road to our new home. If sorrow and pain are in sight, do not give up the fight. Do not cry for a soul set free. It's all part of the Master's plan for me. But if you need to cry, put your trust in the one above the sky. And if you need me, call me. I will be there. Because now I can be anywhere. No matter how far you are, it makes no difference where you are. Even though I may seem far, I will never be too far. And when I spoke with Roman, I remember him saying to me that Katie was proud to say that her name in French was Katie-Hélène. So I thought we would read a poem, and he said to me it might be nice to read a poem in French to remember that name of Katie-Hélène. So in French, it goes like this. À ceux que j'aime et ceux qui m'aiment, quand je ne serai plus là, relâchez-moi et laissez-moi partir. J'ai tellement de choses à faire et à voir. Ne pleurez pas en pensant à moi. Soyez reconnaissants pour toutes les belles années que nous avons passées ensemble. Je vous ai donné mon amour, je vous ai donné mon amitié, et vous ne pouvez pas deviner tout le bonheur que vous m'avez apporté. Je vous remercie pour tout l'amour que vous m'avez démontré. Maintenant, il est temps de voyager seul. Pour un court moment, vous pouvez avoir de la peine, mais votre confiance vous apportera consolation et réconfort. Nous serons séparés pour quelque temps. Laissez les souvenirs apaiser votre douleur. Je ne suis pas loin et la vie continue. Si vous avez besoin de moi, appelez-moi et je viendrai. So, my dear friends, just a few words of consolation. I know it's very difficult, very painful for you here today. That's our only consolation, is to believe that after death there's something else, even though we don't understand, we can't explain. And why I accompany people in palliative care, sometimes, Astrid, I have little children that I talk about, what happens after death. And I'll share this with you. I usually use an analogy when I talk with little kids. Just kind of think, where when you're on vacation at a beach and you see those big ships cruising towards the horizon with all the passengers on board. Now, eventually, with the naked eye, you don't see the ship anymore. Now, has the ship disappeared? No. The ship continues the journey, goes to another port, to another city, to another country. On one side of the horizon, we said, oh, the ship is gone. But on the other side of the horizon, people say, oh, there's a ship coming. It's the same ship. But, friends, this is what we believe at today. As we say that Katie is gone, those who've traveled before says, oh, Katie is coming. So when you're going to think of her, think of the ship. Even though we don't see the ship anymore, the ship is still there. So, my friends, once more, my sincere condolences to all of you today. And remember, she was your angel in this world. She will now be your angel in heaven. In a few moments, we will be listening to another song. And again, we'll take time to think of Katie, those beautiful memories, and all the great things she did in this world. And like Roman said, Vini, Vidi, Vici. And I think that we should remember that. Because of a short life of 35 years, she touched a lot of people, and this is why you're here today. Once more, my sincere condolences to all of you today. Toutes mes sympathies, mes condoléances à vous toutes, à vous tous. And after the song, you're all invited, if I understand correctly, to a reception at the back. Thank you, and good luck, everybody.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change.
Please rise, veuillez vous lever.
Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Yes, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of a bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of a bay, wasting time.